You know that feeling when you're just worn out? And I don't mean physically tired. I mean a kind of deep internal exhaustion right down in your soul. Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today with Sherwood Anderson's incredible short story Seeds. It's this powerful piece that tries to diagnose this mysterious, almost universal feeling.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at this strange spiritual illness the story identifies. Then we'll unpack this amazing central metaphor Anderson uses, these choking vines. From there, we'll see it all play out in the story of a woman he calls a grotesque. And that's going to lead us right to the heart of it all, this deep, universal need for a certain kind of love and the longing for freedom that comes with it. So our story kicks off with a psychoanalyst, a guy whose whole job is to figure out the human mind. But here's the thing. He's feeling this exhaustion that's so deep, so profound, he just can't put his finger on it. And here it is, the line that says it all. This isn't about needing a nap. He says, something inside me is old and worn out. I mean, this is a professional healer, and even he feels this incurable weariness. It's not a sickness of the body, it's a sickness of the spirit. He just feels completely depleted on the inside.
And the story makes it pretty clear this isn't just a case of professional burnout. His weariness comes from trying to understand what makes people, well, the sick things they are. The narrator calls it a universal illness, this idea that maybe we all share this condition, this exhaustion that comes from just wrestling with all the pressures of life. So what is this illness, really? How do you even describe it? Well, to explain that feeling, the doctor gives us this really powerful and, honestly, kind of haunting metaphor. He says people's lives are like young trees in a forest, being choked by climbing vines. Just stop and picture that for a second. A young, healthy tree, full of potential, just slowly and silently being suffocated. It's a powerful image, right? And Anderson wants us to hang on to that feeling because it's pretty much the key to the whole story.
Okay, so let's really break this metaphor down because it's brilliant. It all starts with the seeds. These are old thoughts, old beliefs, things planted by people long gone. Then you have the climbing vines. Those seeds grow into these vines, which are all the societal pressures that choke us, what's expected of us. And finally, there are the young trees. That's us, our lives, our potential. The vines just wrap around us and squeeze. And the thing is, this isn't just some abstract idea for the doctor. He feels it himself. He says, I am myself covered by crawling, creeping vines that choke me. He sees himself as a victim of the exact same illness he's supposed to be studying. Okay, so what does a person who's been choked by these vines actually look like? Well, Anderson gives us this really intense case study, the story of a woman from Iowa whose entire life has been twisted and deformed by this very thing. So this woman is a total puzzle. She grew up in this really isolated, all-female house, and she desperately wants to be loved by a man. She'll even act provocatively to get attention. But the second a man actually makes a move, she's terrified, screaming. It's this heartbreaking, self-defeating cycle. Then this painter in the story, a guy named Leroy, he offers this absolutely incredible insight. He says her life force became decentralized. Basically, because her desires never had a healthy way to be expressed, they just took over. Her need for connection wasn't focused, it just spread out and consumed her whole being, until she was, as he says, sex personified, condensed and impersonal. And Leroy calls her a grotesque. Now this is super important. It's not because she has a slight physical limp, no. It's because her inner self, her true nature, her potential, it's all been twisted and deformed by those choking vines of unfulfilled desire and all that pressure. So after trying to help her, Leroy has this huge breakthrough. He starts to realize that her confusing, contradictory behavior, it's all pointing to a need that's so much deeper than what anyone on the surface was seeing. I mean, look, the easy answer, what everyone in her house thought, was simple. She needed a lover.
But a lover was not what she needed. Leroy understood that was just a symptom, right? A physical relationship wasn't going to settle the matter, because the real problem was way, way deeper. And here we get to the absolute core of the story. What she really needed was to be loved, to be long and quietly and patiently loved. And Leroy says this isn't just her, it's all of us. We all want to be loved like that. But, and this is the heartbreaking part, the world has no plan for creating our lovers. There's just no system for it. This realization, it just completely changes Leroy.
It leaves him with this sense of exhaustion, this desire to just escape. That sounds an awful lot like someone we've already met.
So, when someone gives Leroy some simple, easy answer for the woman's problem, he says the exact same thing the doctor said earlier. How smart we are, how aptly we put things. It's this amazing echo showing how these two different guys, on their own journeys, have ended up in the very same place of weary disillusionment.
And they even share the same strange wish. I would like to be a dead leaf blown by the wind. Think about that. It's not really a death wish. It's a wish to be free, to be weightless, to just be released from the heavy, tangled mess of being human. So, in the end, both the doctor and the painter land in the exact same spot. They realize they're not just observers. They have the illness, too. They're both weary, choked by those creeping, crawling things from the past. They understand that the seeds planted by dead men are choking them, too, and they both just long to be made clean. And so the story leaves us with this huge, lingering question. The world has no plan for creating our lovers. Okay, so if that deep, patient, cleansing love we all need doesn't just happen by default, is it possible to create a plan? Can we create one for ourselves and for the people around us? It's a really powerful question, and it's one that definitely sticks with you.